When Brandee Kelly arrived on the Cleveland State campus as an 18-year-old freshman from her hometown of St. Louis, Missouri, in August of 2010, there was an undeniable glow that surrounded her.
Yes!
Her jovial personality instantly bowled over her CSU basketball teammates and coaches. Brandee spent the majority of her freshman season as a practice player, relentlessly pressing her teammates in practice, a selfless act that made Brandee the ultimate team player.
Brandee had to go through that period of time where she wasn't playing, and you know, her job at that time was to make us better.
Bring the ball to the floor, try to get a reversal against us.
I really wanted to play, but since I wasn't playing, I didn't become a negative person. I just used my athleticism to help my teammates out.
It's not an easy position to play. It's not an easy role to accept, but she did a really good job of staying positive and working hard to make our team better.
As Brandee moved into the second half of her freshman season, she began to experience lower back pain. First diagnosed as a possible muscle injury, the pain became more constant and more severe, resulting in missed practices and sleepless nights.
The pain was ridiculous. I can't even explain it. It was just horrible. I took some days off, but then I'd come back and try to practice, but my back was still hurting.
Tortured by relentless pain, Brandee underwent a battery of tests at Cleveland Clinic.
There was clearly a very identifiable abnormality, particularly on her MRI, that, I mean, she could even pick out looking at and really correlated with where she was having her pain. We started to see some suspicious things on X-ray and then subsequently an MRI that led us down the path to finding out that she did have cancer.
At the tender age of 19, Brandee Kelly was diagnosed with cancer.
Brandee was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Lymphoma is a kind of cancer that arises from cells of the immune system.
Brandee was now under the care of Dr. Brad Pullman of Cleveland Clinic.
The only thing I asked him was I gonna die? That was my main focus, was I gonna die?
Numbed with fear and trepidation, Brandee embarked on her chemotherapy treatments at Cleveland Clinic's Taussig Cancer Center in April of last year.
I just remember walking in there and just feeling that, wow, this is a pretty powerful place, that, you know, she with all these other people who were, you know, fighting cancer. That she was gonna be a part of this and that this was affecting her and her life, and I just remember her being scared and saying that, you know, she couldn't believe this was happening to her.
And when I first went through my first chemo, it was beyond difficult. It was very hard. I didn't think I could make the next one.
One day she looked me dead in my eyes and she said, "Monica, I just want to die." And when she said that to me, it was like, wow. I guess it really hit home that this was, you know, tearing her apart.
After her first 2 chemo treatments, Brandee traveled home to spend a few days with her family in St. Louis. However, Brandee's imminent return to Cleveland was made difficult, not because of what she was leaving behind, but more of what lay ahead.
Coach Mack picked her up from the airport. She, you know, stayed in the dorm that night. I picked her up in the morning, and I remember her walking across the street to my car, and it took her 5 minutes to cross that street. I mean, it was like she was going in slow motion, and she got to the car and she put her head down and she started to cry and she said, "I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this." And I remember her saying, "I'd just rather die." And obviously that wasn't an option.
I had no choice but to come back. My school is here, my team is here. I had to do treatment if I wanted to get better, so I had to come back. There was no staying in St. Louis for me. Even though I wanted to, I couldn't.
Brandee continued chemo treatments throughout the summer at Cleveland Clinic, completing her final treatment in September. Brandee's cancer is now in remission.
Cancer is done with. It's gone. I beat it. Move on. My focus now is basketball and school. My cancer's in the past. I have checkups. I do my checkups. They go well. Next day I have practice. Just go out and ball.
We talk about it every now and then. I think we're both still in shock that she's actually a cancer survivor. There was never any doubt in my mind that she wouldn't survive it, because anybody with that attitude, that drive, that swag, she was gonna beat it, and she did.
I think that our players have not forgotten it. It's still fresh in their minds. I think that they appreciate her every day at practice, and Brandee is her own inspiration. I don't have to say to the team, hey, look what Brandee fought, you all need to fight. Brandee doesn't need any help being inspirational.
I'm Brandee Kelly, and I beat cancer.